have you join us again. Today we're going to do a new Dr. Seuss book. Today we're going to do the Sneetches. Have you ever read this one? I had to read it over again because it had been a while since I'd read it, but it is a great story. It ties into a Bible story about how God created the earth, and in the beginning, how he created everything, which is the start of all the stories in the Bible. I think you'll like it. Now, in the story, they talk about everything that God created and how everything is created equal. That's a very interesting concept. Here, I have some rocks. I have a very big rock, and I have some little rocks that I picked up in my yard. Which rock is better? Or is one better than the other? I don't know if we can say that. One's good for one thing, one's good for another. Over here, I have my scissors. I have my cutting scissors, my pinking scissors, and then I have my little scissors that I keep by my sewing machine when I'm sewing to snip away. Which pair is better? I don't know if we can say that. And what about people? Have you noticed that there's different people in the world? Some have long hair, some have short hair. Some don't have any hair. Some have dark hair, some have light hair. But does that mean one's better than the other? I hope you say no, they're not. And if you look at the trees, there's apple trees, there's peach trees, there's fir trees, there's maple trees that give us maple syrup. Which tree is the best? Hard to say, isn't it? Lots of stuff to think about today. And Miss Laura is going to start and read our story, The Sneetches, to us today. And you'll see what those Sneetches try to do. It's a very interesting story. Our friend Max is going to show us the third verse today of Small Things Count. And that's very important if you think about it. Small things count, like Jesus said. So any small thing that you can do to be kind to everyone is a great thing. And now Mac is going to have us sing Small Things Count. Take it away.
Hello, welcome back. So we've got another verse, and I know that you were all singing it so well the last 2 weeks. So let's sing the whole thing this time. It's going to be all 3 verses. So right from the very first verse all together, small things count. There's your note right there. Small things count, so Jesus said, cups of water, crumbs of bread, small things done because we're kind, count as big things in God's mind. Here's the second verse. Small things make the big things grow, grains of yeast inside the dough, puffs that fill a big balloon, notes that make a happy tune. Every hair that's on our head, every sparrow, Jesus said, God takes care of, counts and knows. God loves us from top to toes. Give yourself a round of applause.
Hi everybody, I'm Miss Laura, and today I'm going to read you a little story out of the Bible, Genesis 1 and 2. It says, in the beginning was only God. God made the whole world. God made water and sky. He made flowers and trees. He put the sun in the sky. He made fish and birds. Everything was good. Next, God made people. First, he made a man named Adam. God put Adam in a pretty garden called the Garden of Eden. He told Adam to give names to all the animals. Then God made the first woman, Eve. She became Adam's wife. They were very happy. Now we're going to read the book by Dr. Seuss called The Sneetches. The Sneetches. Now the star-belly Sneetches had bellies with stars. The plain-belly Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small. You might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all. But because they had stars, all the star-belly Sneetches would brag, "We're the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches." With their snoots in the air, they would sniff and they'd snort. "We have nothing to do with that plain belly sort." And whenever they met some, while they were out walking, they'd hike right on past them without even talking. When the star-belly children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? No, not at all. You only could play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-belly children had none upon theirs. When the star-belly Sneetches had frankfurter roasts, or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited the plain-belly Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them year after year. Then one day it seems, while the plain-belly Sneetches were moping and doping along on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars. "My friends," he announced in a clear voice very keen, "my name is Sylvester McMonkey McBean. And I've heard of your troubles, I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that. I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you, I have what you need. My prices are low and I work at great speed. And my work is 100% guaranteed." Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine, and he said, "You want stars like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for just $3 each. Just pay me your money and hop right aboard." So they clambered inside, then the big machine roared, and it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burped, and it bopped them about. But that thing really worked. When the plain-belly Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs. And they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start, "We're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties, and now you can go to your frankfurter parties." "Good grief," groaned the ones who had stars at the first. "We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now how in the world will we know," they all frowned, "if which kind is what, or the other way round?" Then up came McBean with a very sly wink. He said, "Things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who? That's perfectly true. But all come with me, friends. Do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches." "Belly stars are no longer in style," said McBean. "What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like Sneetches who have them on theirs." And that handy machine worked very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely. Then with snoots in the air they paraded about, and they opened their beaks and they let out a shout. "We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are Sneetches without." And we're going to stop there today, but I want you to think what you think might happen to the Sneetches that have the green stars on their bellies, what they're going to do.
Well, Miss Laura really got us going with those Sneetches, didn't she? And oh my goodness, I don't know. Starbelly, not starbelly. Lots of things to think about. Well, what better way to think about it than to say a nice prayer? And Miss Sue is going to lead us in our prayer, in our eyes, our ears, our mouth, and our heart. Miss Sue?
So if we could finish with our prayer this morning. starting with our eyes. You ready? It's hard to fold. God be in my eyes and in my seeing. God be in my ears and in my listening. God be in my mouth and in my speaking. And God be in my heart and in my loving. Amen.
Hi everybody, this is Miss Lorene, and I'm going to go over the craft with you for this week. So you're going to go to your Ziploc bag that was delivered to you and pull out your Sneetches Craft 1 bag. And for this craft, you're going to need some scissors, some glue, either some crayons or markers or colored pencils. You might need your parent around to give you a little bit of help too. So you're going to empty out your bag and you'll find some yellow pieces of paper. The biggest piece you're going to put down and you're going to put your hand on it to trace it. I have a problem. My hand doesn't fit right on the paper. So I'm going to see if I can call in a little helper to give me some help with this.
I can help. I can help. Can I help? Can I help, Miss Lorene? I would love to help. Please, please, please.
That would be wonderful. Thank you. Could you put your hand right down here on the paper?
Okay, where do you want it?
That's good. Now I'm going to trace your hand.
Oh, that tickles.
And maybe a parent will give you a hand with this too, or an older sibling. All right.
Yeah, I'm not
Thank you.
I'm not very good at catching.
Thank you very much.
Can I stay and watch?
You sure can.
Oh, goody, goody, goody.
So what you're going to do then is cut out your handprint.
Nice. I love it.
There we go. There's your hand.
Let me see. Let me see.
It works.
Oh, that's perfect. What are you going to use my hand for?
Well, that is going to be the head.
Wow.
So then you have a smaller piece of paper and you're going to cut it more into maybe an oval shape or an egg shape. Whatever you like. You know, ovals.
Yeah, that's an oval.
And what do you think that might be?
My foot?
Something that gets tickled.
It's my belly.
It's your belly. So that's going to be the belly. And we'll need our glue to glue those together. But then you have a strip of yellow and you're going to cut right down those lines.
Oh, that's hard to do sometimes.
Sometimes it is, but they've been nicely marked for you. So what you'll do is you'll fold it in half.
That's one.
And fold it in half.
That's
That's
two.
And fold it in half.
3 folds?
3
Wow.
folds. And then when you open it up, you have a nice wiggly arm or a leg.
How about
All right, so you're going to do that for all 4 of them. And then what you have is some white paper that you'll...
I know, that's my eye.
That's right. You'll make some circles or ovals with that to put on. And then there are some black pieces to be the center of your eye. So you have to make them a little smaller, right?
Yep.
And then that will go on. And what do you think the red will be for? That's right. We can make a mouth. And we could make it a frown, but we're kind of happy, aren't we? So we'll make it a smile.
Perfect.
All right? So you're going to glue everything together and you're going to end up with...
I know.
Yeah?
It's a, well, what's that word?
Sneaker?
This is a sneaker.
Oh. So what is it?
Oh, what was that story Miss Laura read? A sneetch.
That's right.
It's a sneetch.
So this one has a star on it already. And you've got a little stickers in here that you can put stars on. But some Sneetches have no stars on ours. So you can leave it plain. So you can make more than one if you want. If you have more paper at home, and you can make them different colors, you could put polka dots on them.
I'm going to make 5 Sneetches, I think.
That's right. And what will they all do? They'll all get along, right?
I sure hope so.
I hope so too. So that's your craft for this week.
Ending. So that's a very interesting story about the Sneetches. And perhaps you know how it's going to end? I hope you know that the Sneetches need to be kind to each other. And if they have a star or if they don't have a star, they're still the same, right? Same as a rock is a rock and a scissors are scissors. So Miss Laura did a really good job of reading our story, and Miss Lorene helped you make a really cool Sneetch. Kind of cute with the crinkly arms, and I really liked her puppet that was helping her out. Also, I just wanted to mention that your family got a new bag this week with your craft materials in it, and I know you've already used some of them, but I wanted to point out too that we put together a coloring book for you. It has pictures of Horton and Yertle and the Sneetches, and this is a cute picture of the turtles on top of each other. Does that remind you of Yertle? And the other thing that's here is a cube, and it has directions on how to make this cube. You cut around the very outside of it, and then on the solid lines you have to fold. Once you fold it and you put them together, it's going to come and make a cube like this. And on the tabs, we put the word glue, and you have to put glue there, and then you will be able to put it together. And then you have a nice cube, and you can play a game with your family. Depending on what lies on the top is the activity that you need to do. So if I was to roll this, and this landed on the top, it says jump on your left foot 5 times. So you have to stand on one foot and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can decide if everybody has to do it or just the person rolling it. So it's kind of a fun activity for you to do, especially if it's really cold outside and you want to stay inside and do an activity together with your family. So that's all we have for this week. Our friend Max is here to sing our song Like a Rock for our ending. So remember all the actions, and God is in our heart. We'll see you again next week. Take care now.
Sing along too. 3. Like a rock, like a